I took a gamble on a controller I didn't really trust, and after 3 months, it actually surprised me. But the funny thing is, what changed my mind didn't happen on day 1. It happened around 10 days after I opened the box. And honestly, when I first picked it up, I had zero clue how it was gonna turn out. Third-party controllers had already taught me not to trust anything unproven. So going in, my expectations were kinda low. But after putting over 200 hours into it, I know exactly what it's like now. And that's mad, considering it's not Xbox or Sony. It's the G7 Pro, and it could have been solid or straight trash. But yeah, around day 10 is where everything flipped. In the first week, the G7 Pro felt solid. Good grip, good weight, clean buttons. But I wasn't ready to trust it yet, since I've had controllers that feel great at first and fall apart a week later. And there was a tiny moment that made me suspicious. The first time I used a 2.4G, the controller lit up like it was ready to connect, but nothing responded. No movement, no buttons, not a huge issue, but it just didn't sit right with me, so I switched to wired and just kept on going. But I did figure out how to actually fix it, so stick around. Once I got into my usual shooters, the controller felt comfortable with no signs of early drift and no strange dead zones, but it felt like I was only on the first layer of what this controller could actually do. I was just messing around with my controller and then the faceplate flipping lifted off in my hand. Bro, I thought I broke it. But this is a part of the design and I don't know how I didn't know this, but this is flipping sick. So yeah, it's a magnetic faceplate and it just lifts off. Underneath, there's this clean see-through protective layer where you can see the internals if you want that aesthetic look, as well as if you want to change out your faceplate for something else. Currently, they don't sell them separately, but maybe that's something they plan to do. And honestly, it's a really nice fidget toy as well. Like, it really goes together with a really nice... And that's when I finally remembered all the other cool extras that came in the box, with 2 additional D-pad designs, as well as a really unique dock that comes with it. And while I was looking over everything, honestly, the build of the controller stood out too, with all aspects of this thing feeling really sturdy and durable, and something I'll definitely get confused with a 200-pound plus controller. But that wasn't the moment that changed my skeptical feeling. Around day 10, I finally opened the software, and that's when everything changed. Dead zone tuning, stick curves, trigger sensitivity, full profiles. Honestly, you don't get this level of customization on even premium controllers. Sony. Messing around with all that made me want to try the backup buttons too. And they surprised me. They're not too mushy, they're not in the way, and once I mapped them to my preferences, it generally changed the way I gamed. Then it was time for the trigger stoppers. It's a simple switch, but it made gaming so much easier and allowed me to hit off my shots way faster. And then it clicked. This controller isn't just good for the price, it was actually competing with way more expensive ones. Alright, let's talk about this because it actually matters once the hype wears off. Wire mode has been perfect for me. No delay, smooth sailing. And it's been a similar situation with the Bluetooth connection. However, the real test for me has been 2.4G. Most of my testing on PC has actually been using this connection method. And when it's working, it's great. But I'm not gonna lie, I did hit a pretty big issue a few times where the controller said it was connected and the connection light was on, but no inputs were registering. No sticks, no buttons, nothing. The only thing that fixed it was getting the USB-C cable that came with it, plugging it in for a few seconds, unplugging it, and then after that, it works. I'm not too sure if everyone has this issue or if it's only my unit, but I just wanted to make you guys aware just in case you come over the same issue I did. Once the controller actually works, the sticks and the buttons feel beautiful. The TMR joysticks feel absolutely amazing and it feels really precise and accurate. And the same with the Hall effect triggers. They're really satisfying to press, and once you have the trigger stoppers on, it has a really satisfying click to it. Everything else about the feel holds up well. The rumble has a good punch to it without feeling overbearing, and the front bumpers, I never thought I would use them, but in faster games, they're really helpful. So yeah, from a pure performance standpoint, once the thing works, it's a steal. At the end of the day, this controller isn't about one big headline feature. It's about the whole package, and considering it's only £90, it sits in that sweet spot where it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be able to deliver, and it does. So if you're on PC, Xbox, and you want a solid customizable controller without going to scuff level money, the G7 Pro is probably for you. However, if you want a few more options, check these 2 videos out over here. Either way, like, subscribe, support the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.